Welcome back to StadiumRise. There is one stadium on this planet where Pelé lifted the World Cup, where Maradona punched the ball into the net with his hand and called it God, where a 25-year-old Argentine then turned around, picked up the ball in his own half, beat 5 defenders across 60 meters, and scored what FIFA voters would later name the greatest goal in World Cup history. All of that happened on the same pitch, the same grass, the same ground that, on June 11, 2026, opened the biggest World Cup in football history for the third time. One stadium, 3 World Cups. No other ground on earth has done this. No other ground ever will. This is Estadio Azteca, and this is its story. They broke ground in 1961 in the Santa Ursula neighborhood of southern Mexico City, a city already sitting 7,200 feet above sea level, high enough to leave visiting athletes gasping within minutes of stepping off the plane. The stadium cost $17 million to build. It opened in 1966, holding over 100,000 people, and became instantly the largest stadium in Latin America. But size was never what made the Azteca. It was what happened inside it. The first World Cup came in 1970. Mexico hosted, and the Azteca became the stage for what many still consider the greatest football tournament ever played. The altitude punished visitors. The midday heat, forced on teams to suit European television schedules, broke bodies, and through all of it, Brazil played football so beautiful that the English press wrote, "Such football deserves to be banned." On June 21, 1970, in front of 107,412 people, Brazil destroyed Italy 4-1 in the final. Pelé headed the first goal. Pelé laid off the last, a no-look pass to captain Carlos Alberto, whose ferocious strike is still spoken of as one of the finest goals the World Cup has ever produced. Brazil won their third title and took permanent possession of the Jules Rimet trophy. Pelé wept. The Azteca roared, and football had found its church. 16 years passed, Mexico hosted again, and the Azteca delivered something even the 1970 final could not match. June 22, 1986, Argentina versus England, quarter-final. The two nations had fought the Falklands War only 4 years earlier, 255 British soldiers dead, 649 Argentine. The political wound had not healed. It never fully. What happened that afternoon at the Azteca did not help. In the 51st minute, a high ball dropped into the England penalty area. Diego Maradona, 25 years old, 5'5", the best footballer alive, jumped alongside England goalkeeper Peter Shilton and punched the ball into the net with his left fist. The referee missed it, the goal stood, and Maradona, when asked afterward, smiled and said it was scored a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. 4 minutes later, he collected the ball deep in his own half and did something that had never been done before and has never been matched since. He ran, past Peter Beardsley, past Peter Reid, past Terry Fenwick, past Terry Butcher, past Butcher again as he tracked back, past Peter Shilton, the same goalkeeper whose net he had already cheated into, and rolled the ball calmly into an empty goal. 60 meters, 10 seconds. 5 outfield players beaten, 1 goalkeeper beaten, 1 composed finish. In 2002, FIFA asked supporters around the world to vote for the greatest goal in World Cup history. Maradona's second goal against England, won by an overwhelming majority, same pitch, same afternoon. The worst and the best of football, 4 minutes apart. Argentina won the 1986 World Cup. Maradona lifted the trophy on the same turf where Pelé had lifted his 16 years before. No other 2 players in history have done that. No other ground has held that. The Azteca is also quietly the birthplace of something every football fan on earth has done without knowing it. The wave, that cascading surge of raised arms that travels around a stadium, was invented here. Born in the stands of the Azteca during the 1986 World Cup, the Spanish called it La Ola. The world simply copied it, then came the renovation. For 2026, the Azteca was rebuilt from the inside out. New roof fitted with photovoltaic solar panels, full LED lighting around the entire exterior, a new player tunnel, every seat replaced, expanded hospitality areas, and a new hybrid pitch, natural grass reinforced with synthetic fibers woven into the surface, the same technology used at the elite clubs of Europe. The stadium that held 107,000 in 1970 now holds 87,523 for the World Cup. Smaller in number, larger in every other way. On June 11, 2026, Mexico faced South Africa here in the opening match of the tournament. The first time in history that one stadium had hosted 3 World Cup opening matches. The first time in history that one ground had staged 3 complete World Cup tournaments, 87,000 people, 7,000 feet above sea level. A city of 23 million holding its breath. There are newer stadiums in this tournament. More expensive ones. More technologically advanced. SoFi Stadium cost $5.5 billion. MetLife hosts the final. But there is not one venue across these 3 countries that carries what the Azteca carries. Not one pitch where the ghosts are this loud or this real. Not one ground where you can stand on the turf and physically feel the weight of what has happened on it. Pelé won here. Maradona cheated here. Maradona then immediately produced the greatest individual moment in football history here. And now, in 2026, The greatest tournament ever staged begins here again. 3 World Cups, 1 stadium, a legacy that football will never produce again. This is the Azteca, and there will never be another. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. See you next week.